Salutations everyone, this is Razor here giving you guys yet another movie review, where today I'm going to be reviewing Elysium, the newest Matt Damon flick, summer blockbuster, the sophomore effort of much celebrated director Neil Blomkamp, who of course did District 9 and has been attached to so many different creative projects and titles that so many hardcore fans have wanted him to do, Halo being one that comes to mind. And there's been much anticipation for this film ever since we first saw screenshots of this film over a year ago. And when the trailers came out, it seemed like it was going to be such a fantastic movie. And I thought coming in, my biggest problem with this movie is probably going to be that he isn't directing a Mass Effect movie right now, because it seems like he would be perfect for that type of film. And of course, District 9 was such a great film. And this, of course, his second film, first one since District 9, starring Matt Damon, Jodie Foster. You got Sharlto Copley, who played the protagonist in District 9, Mr. Vitkis. And the movie's been getting a lot of great reviews. If you don't know what it is, Elysium is, kind of your typical dystopian future. Not a lot of unique nuances here, but not so necessary, especially when it comes to sci-fi, because it seems like everything's kind of already been done, where Earth is polluted and overpopulated and kind of gone to shit. So the rich people went to space, Wall-E style, built a space station, and technology has progressed so far that they're able to stay up there, and these little pods that cure you of any disease instantly. So obviously there is quite the gap between social classes here. So of course Matt Damon steps in as the main character to do something about this, and that's pretty much what the trailers give you. The film's narrative is very similar to District 9. Of course, aesthetically, it's obviously similar to District 9 as out of the first screenshots that we saw, because, it is Neil Blomkamp, and he seems to have a style, and it is very cool, very unique, muted colors, very cool metallic mech surfaces, technological advancements, even more so in this film than in District 9. But of course he has a very, very cool style, and he's got a really good style for sci-fi. He has a good style suited for it, and the narrative, like I said, is very similar to District 9. You got this future world and this ordinary dude under extreme high stress circumstances that are thrust upon him, and he gains an advantage. District 9 got the alien DNA, and here he gets fitted with this exoskeleton. Looks really cool. This movie is very aesthetically pleasing, as I've said before, but the story isn't what I had hoped or expected from this film. Not to say that it's bad, it's just not what I thought it would be, and I think it is getting more praise than it deserves. Overall, it's an alright movie. It's got a strong cast, very, very well cast. There are some people even saying that Sharlto Copley's character, and he does a very good job. Jodie Foster plays a very good villain. And Matt Damon, of course, is Matt Damon. You've seen him, as the lead role in these types of movies before, so, he doesn't really disappoint. He plays, a pretty nice character as well. The backstory kind of bogs it down, I feel, a little bit, and, there's a woman, of course. Unfortunately, I don't think Elysium is the movie that we want it to be. The trailers, we don't get much. The style is very cool. We can see that the action is going to be great, and the action is very well done. It's not too over the top. It's not, super subtle. It's good sci-fi action, which is what we want it to be. It's got some gravitas. We got some nice, cool looking technological, punch. The robots look very, very good. Very, very well done. Much like we saw in District 9 with the mech suits. So I think a lot of other producers and directors can take a little bit of Neil Blomkamp's like realistic sci-fi feel and translate it into other films. I think would be much appreciated, because we've been bogged down with so much CGI and so much, craptastic visuals that it just glosses over, crappy story. People said with District 9 that it seemed kind of like a racist fueled movie, kind of a metaphor, because the aliens were being, ostracized by the humans, which you can kind of see, but at the same time, they're aliens, so you can't really say that it doesn't translate well to like, human racism. But, of course, it is a particular different race altogether. And unfortunately, with Neil Blomkamp's second effort, it feels too political. And it kind of shoves your face in a little bit. And that's what really left a sour taste in my mouth. I had no preconceived notions of this going into the movie. But afterwards, I tried to look at the couple of reviews if this was catching on, getting a little bit of backlash, and it is a little bit. Of course, it's being denied by Blomkamp and as well as the actors. And this isn't really spoilers, but it's about illegal immigration. It's what it really is. It's about legal immigration and social health care, socialized health care. The Jodie Foster doesn't like the liberal people in power and wants to change that through whatever means that she can. And all of the people on Elysium, of course, are the rich, the 1%, if you will. Pretty much all a bunch of hoity-toity white people with old money, as you would expect. And everyone left back on Earth, with the lone exception of Matt Damon, are Mexican. And once again, it's a white guy to the rescue, as we've seen in so many movies, such as Avatar, where one race is being subjugated by another, and a white man comes to the rescue, which seems kind of disempowering. But at the same time, for the good of the people that, he's representing. But they are really shoving your face in this one because of the choice words that they use. They use specific words that they could have avoided and made this movie less political. They use the word undocumented quite frequently in this film when it's not necessary. Undocumented is a word that we only associate with illegal immigrants, in the past, 5, 6, 7 years. That's really the only time we've ever heard that word. And it shows up in this when it shouldn't be. It's not a sci-fi term. It's not a space terminology whatsoever. It's an illegal immigration term, and they use it. So it's kind of hard to believe the director and the cast when they say that this isn't, racially fueled or have anything to do with social or political issues, because I really, really think it is. And that was what was so disappointing to me. They use undocumented a lot. It's the Mexicans fighting against the rich white people who don't care about them. And then there's the socialized health care that the people on Elysium have, that people on Earth don't have, and they want. And many people, are bogged down with disease and injuries and stuff. When the rich people can get fixed, in a jiffy, and they aren't afforded these same luxuries. So those discrepancies. The fact that, it's rich white people against the Mexicans, regardless of the fact that Matt Damon isn't Mexican at all, though he does speak some Spanish in the film, just really hammers home the illegal immigration issue. And that's what left a sour taste in my mouth. The story wasn't what I expected. The action was good. It was a strong cast. Acting wasn't superb in most respects, but it didn't need to be. For this type of sci-fi film, the acting didn't need to be great. It was the story and the writing that needed to be good. Unfortunately, this is where it fell short. But otherwise, an aesthetically pleasing film, good direction. I thought the editing was actually very lackluster. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't know a lot about film. I know someone who's like an editor or something would notice things that normal people don't notice, but an amateur such as myself noticed some really choppy editing that I didn't really care for very much. So that was also something that kind of held me back on this film a little bit. But the action is pretty good. It's what you would expect if you've seen District 9. So if that's all that you want, that's what you're going to get. But there's also some political issues in there that kind of wasn't very warranted, and they could have strayed away from had they chosen to do so, but it didn't feel that way. And regardless of how you feel about social political issues, there's no place for it in films like this when that shouldn't be the main focus, and a movie like this shouldn't be used as a vehicle to push one's own political agenda, even though it is being denied. It's kind of easy to see through, in my opinion. Those are just my thoughts, guys. Not a great movie. It's okay. Definitely not something you need to go out and see. It's not going to be one of the better films in the year, regardless of some of the reviews that you might be reading. But that's, of course, just me. That's just my opinion. But that's why I give you guys my opinion, because it matters to me. And hopefully it has some value to some of you out there. So hope you guys enjoyed. Comments always appreciated. And I will see you next time.